Hello YouTubers, Alaska Prepper here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to do a little project together. Let me tell you the backstory first. So remember, I think it was a week or two ago, I did a video where I showed you a flashlight that I prefer. That's a little bit on the pricier side, the hybrid. But I also showed you a budget flashlight that was actually brighter than my hybrid light, but I told you the pros and cons of each. And the reason that I like doing videos like that, and I'm going to continue to do videos like that, including today's, is because it gives you a choice. And I know that there's a lot of people out there, 70% or so of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. How are they supposed to prepare? Well, you can still prepare if you don't have a lot of a budget by prepping on a budget. And just like that flashlight was a budget flashlight that could still do the job. And it had its pros and it had its cons, just like the hybrid did. Today, I want to share with you something that, ladies and gentlemen, I have to say, I think I'm the one that came up with this because I'm a genius. No, just kidding. So a few days ago, probably more than a week ago or so, I was with my wife at Sportsman's Warehouse. Now, Sportsman's Warehouse, for those of you that maybe don't have one nearby, is like a sporting goods store, like a Cabela's or a Dick's or a Bass Pro Shop, etc. Right? It's the same thing. It's a little bit on a smaller scale, but that's what we have here in Fairbanks, Alaska. And I came across this set of knives that I was like, wow, these things will work perfect for this. For what? Well, let me show you. You see this here? This is my shed knife. Now, this knife was sent to me by Shed Knives, by the owner of, so that I can review it for you all and show it off. And it's a great knife. Check this out. I have been using this knife to do a little bit of bushcraft, not a lot, okay? And to take it out camping with me on the couple of days that I've gone camping. And it still has a very sharp edge on it. Very sharp. Okay, and you saw me, if you saw the videos that I did, I was cutting wood with this, I was hacking wood, I was shaving wood, etc. It is a great knife. And the reason that I like championing Shed Knives is because it's American made by an American with American parts. In other words, it's 100% American. And I love that. But not only that, it's a very high quality knife. But there's one drawback. Many people may not be able to afford a knife like this. Why? Let's go back to the 70% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck. Well, I don't want you not to prepare just because you think you have to buy expensive stuff to prep. Now, what I'm about to share with you is something that I've never seen done or recommended, and I've never done it myself. So we're going to learn from it together. However, I think that it will work, and that's this right here. So again, as opposed to spending $100 plus on a very nice knife, you can make your own very nice knife. These are throwing knives, and 3 of them come to a pack. And I looked at these and I was like, man, that is a really cool throwing knife. And I told myself, I bet you I can take that and use it as a regular knife for bushcraft, take it out when I go camping. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute, bing. I was like, this was only $30-something. I think it was $37 or $34, something like that. Brings 3 of them, and it brings a sheath. And yes, these are throwing knives, and I haven't even taken them out of the package. But I bet, ladies and gentlemen, that we can take one of these throwing knives, and we can go ahead and put an edge on it that will be awesome. And for a handle, your imagination is the limit. You can either carve your own handle out of a piece of wood, or you can use 550 cord, or you can use, I always forget the name of this, rapid rope, right? This is like a 550 times 2. This has 1,100 pounds of, I think they call it tensile strength, and it's flat. It's not round like 550, but you can make your handle out of 550 cord or out of rapid rope, or you can make your own handle out of wood, whatever you want to, right? Anything that's cheap that you can afford. And this pack comes with 3 knives. So let's go ahead and open this up. Let's take a look at it. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure that there's too much sharpening that we need to do with these knives. Very sharp already. Wow. I guess we'll have to do the paper test. It has an edge all across the front and all across the bottom side, obviously, where it should have one. And to tell you the truth, the ridge, which is what I call it, I don't even know what the technical name of this is, but the ridge on it is not terrible. It's about 1/8 of an inch, if not 3/16 of an inch thick. So take a look at the difference between your shed knife, okay, and your throwing knife. Let's call it our budget knife. The shed knife is roughly about twice as thick, but this right here was roughly $12. Let's say less than $15 for this one knife. And like I said, I'm not even sure if we're going to need to sharpen it because this is very sharp. And I mean, this is a really good deal, ladies and gentlemen. You get these 3 knives with a sheath. And the sheath is made to hold all 3 knives, but you don't have to hold all 3 knives. You can always just hold the one knife that you're working with that day. So you get 3 identical knives along with the sheath. Let's go ahead and put these to the side and let's see just how one knife fits in there. Let's see. I think this is a winner. I mean, I really like this idea. And in addition to that, you can even go ahead and make your own sheath if you wanted to make a custom like leather sheath or have someone make you a custom one. And I just noticed something that we definitely do not want to cover up when we put our handle on. And that is, not only do you get 3 knives, but they also have a skull cracker is what I call them. You see this little pointy part, just like our shed knife. This one has a skull cracker that you can use to bam, you know, a window or a skull. If you want to, ladies and gentlemen, for self-defense only. But look at this. It's got a bottle opener. So we definitely don't want to cover that up. In my case, I can because I don't really drink beer and I don't even drink soda pop. So I can, but it comes with a bottle opener as well. But look at this handle. It is a pretty nice handle. Let's go ahead and see how sharp this is by doing the paper test. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that were waiting for your Alaska Prepper 2024 edition silver coin, they are all packed and I will be mailing them out later on today. So be on the lookout to receive them more than likely early next week. All right, so they are all here and you'll be getting them soon. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't know it was going to be so hard to try to find a piece of paper, okay? But I found some spare $100 bills that I had, so let's go ahead and just do the $100 bills. All right, so let's see. I have no idea how this is going to do. Let's see. Nothing. Okay, so we're not getting very good traction here, although this is pretty darn sharp. Let's see. No. Okay. Not too bad for a $15 knife. I have to say, it's not too bad for a $15 knife. And don't worry about the $100 bill, ladies and gentlemen. I got plenty of these. There's more where these came from. Don't ask me if I've ever done this before, ladies and gentlemen, because I have not. This is called the strobing. Have you ever gone to an old school barber and you see that he takes his shaving blade and he goes zoom, zoom on this piece of leather? That's kind of like what this is. So I purchased this on Amazon. And it comes with a compound that you put on here. And it's supposed to go ahead and like hone out all the little miniature microscopic burrs that are on your blade. And make them go away, making the blade even sharper. So the instructions say, and it's funny that I can see some of you just laughing. But ladies and gentlemen, this is how you learn. You learn how to do this by making mistakes, by doing it without ever having done it before. And it's kind of cool. It's one of the reasons why I like preparedness, is because there's a lot of things that I've never done before. First, they say that it'd be better if you just put this like on a nice piece of wood so it'd be elevated, but it doesn't really have to be. But the instruction just said to keep it at about 20 to 25 degree angle and to just do it nice and light. Try to use the weight of the blade and not put too much pressure on it. So let's just go just like they told us, like this. Boom. Nice and light. 25 to 30 degree angle. Just use the weight of the blade. Don't press down too hard. All right, now let's try the other way. This way seems to be a little easier for me because I can use my fingers to keep it from going too far down. Now let's give it a test. Oh my goodness, this is super sharp. Let me go one more time. Nice and light. Oh my goodness, that is sharp. Let's see. Oh my goodness, that is so sharp. That there, ladies and gentlemen, I think is pretty good. Now, obviously, the more that you work at this skill, the better that you'll get at it. But I'm telling you, this blade is so sharp that I don't think that it can get too much sharper than this. But let's go ahead and give it back that little bit of a edge that it had before we tortured it with that paper. And this trope, I guess is what you call this, this works great. I didn't even have to break out my handy dandy brand new sharpener right there. Although we will one day. I'm definitely going to take this knife out the next time that I go camping, because this is very forgiving. You know, like with a regular sharpening stone or a sharpening stone kit like this one right here, that's not as forgiving. Let's say, for example, if you go the wrong angle. But this is pretty forgiving. And I'll tell you what, it works great. Oh my goodness. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the truth is that you can feel the difference in quality between the shed knife and between our budget knife. However, I still stand by that this budget knife here is a great deal if you're on a budget. I'm going to go ahead and take this budget knife out with my shed knife as a backup the next time that I go out on a camping trip, which is going to be pretty soon, and see how it performs. So now what we're going to do is use our rapid rope in order to make a handle. And it's just going to be to your liking, ladies and gentlemen. This is just something that's going to help you hold it a little bit better. Like right now, it's a little bit too thin for the hands. Unfortunately, I forgot to turn my camera on, ladies and gentlemen, but all I'm doing here is just wrapping that cordage around the handle, and you can do anything you want. You can make it out of wood, you can make it out of leather, pretty much whatever will work with you. I kind of like using the cordage because if for some reason you ever forget to bring cordage with you when you go out, you can always use this to get by. And the Gorilla Glue super glue that you see there, I used a little bit of that to just start it off. That will be secure onto the knife, so when I pull on it, it won't come loose very easily. For a, I would say, $15 knife or so, this is not bad. I mean, the handle does the job, right? You can make it whatever you want, but I've got a very good grip. I still have my skull crusher here. You can see I burned off the tip right there to make sure that it wouldn't come off. Since this is a synthetic fiber, when it burns, it kind of like turns into plastic. So there you go. Not too bad. Here is your budget knife. Right, here's your budget knife. We can compare the two. Let's go ahead and take this outside and do a little bit of, I don't know, smashing with it. Let's see what we can get into. We are going to go visit the site of the cheapest tent on Amazon that I reviewed and spent the night in, because I left it up, ladies and gentlemen, and we've gotten probably, I would say, close to 9-10 inches of snow since I did that experiment, and I left the tent set up just to see what would happen with all of the snowfall. So let's go check it out. Look at this. It looks like the sides have come in a little bit, but it's still standing. I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm pretty impressed with this little tent. It's a nice little cheapo, and it actually did the job. Well, as you can see here, ladies and gentlemen, the knife is definitely sharp enough. And although it's not a big old thick piece of wood, I mean, the knife is doing what it's supposed to do. Cutting through this stuff, you can actually do a little bit of chopping as long as the wood is not extremely thick. But look, I have no problem at all taking this knife out with me the next time that I do a camping trip. As far as I'm concerned, it passes the test. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you got something out of this. I am very satisfied with this knife. knowing that I've got less than $20 into it as compared to having to spend $100 plus on a different knife that, although this shed knife, I'm sure will last me forever, right? Unless something really serious happens where it cracks or something, but I don't foresee that happening knowing from the things that I've done with it already. And this, ladies and gentlemen, if for some reason this does have to be replaced, guess what? I've got 2 more on reserve, and I got a whole bunch more 550 cord, or I always forget this, rapid rope, to go ahead and make me another handle. And I hate to say that it's not the best, because it's not, but man, this is a really nice little knife. You saw how it functioned out there when I was splitting wood with it, and it even gave me a little bit of shavings as I was trying to do shavings to show you that you can actually get a little bit of tinder to start a fire with this. So you make up your own mind, ladies and gentlemen. I think this is a winner, all right, especially for those that want to prep on a budget, and we will try it out next time that we go out in the bush. Having said that, have a great day. God bless every one of you. God bless America. I'm Alaska Prepper. Ha! I'm out.